loo xam ne la dëgg dafa am njëriñ te dafa ñëw time boo xam ne time boobu lañ ko gëna soxla dëgg la pour ñu am interaction even with our MPs dafay nekk problème waaye bii jën na koo yombal parce que loo leen organise ni tax na suñ MP bi ñëw ñu mun a jaakaarloo moom.
ku nekk lu lay dundal mu doon sa lekk mu doon sa naan li ngay naan fi ngay fanaanee ak li ngay sol dépense moo ko waral te naka tudda dëkk bi dépense bi nga xamante ne mooy taxawal dëkk bi moo tax tey nga nekk fii nii boo gisee ñu nekk fii nii place bi fi nekkee fi nga toog dépense yi réew bi moo ko taxawal.
li gën a marqué si wax bi mooy participatory budget kenn ku nekk da nga war a mun a xam dépense buñ laa dépensal fan lañ ko tubee naka lañ ko amee ak naka lañ ko war a amee ba mun la koo dépensal ci yow num la neexee.
The Gambia is a tax-based economy. All the country relies on as a natural way of making money is the River Gambia and tourism. In a tax-based economy, its budget formulation can be complicated as it requires paying attention to every detail. Now, working together and having the meaningful conversations means we can ensure that limited resources are put to their most efficient use. A youth-led organization, Gambia Participates, engaged in fiscal transparency, government accountability, and legislative engagement, is working to change the narrative of formulating budgets without getting the direct beneficiaries involved in the process. This is the first community dialogue in the urban area on budget matters to ensure community members or electorates support levels of spending and that these expenditures directly reflect their community priorities or needs.
Gambia Participates with funding from the International Republican Institute, IRI, is having engagements between different NAMs and their constituents. And we believe that public participation in the budget process has little or no changes over the past few years. And we believe that this is one way of increasing public participation in the budget process. So we have done this like more times than we can remember, but we usually do it in rural Gambia. So in order to increase and promote inclusiveness, we believe to also do it in the greater Banjul area to offer citizens the opportunity to be able to have a say in the budget process.
It is very important because most of the time in budget processes, the community are excluded. Most of the time, the community are excluded. We hardly have their input. They are always represented at that level. For example, the ministries will pick on what they think is good for the people, but this kind of exercise will prepare the citizens in such a way that it will come from them. They will tell the ministries or tell the government the kind of developments they wanted, rather than just government bringing in things to them that they may not want. For example, if the community are in their need of roads and you bring them hospital or bridges, that won't solve their problems.
Both the young and the old gather to voice their aspirations to make it easier for lawmakers, strengthen confidence, and keep accountability alive. Aside from that, the dialogue was as well a lecture for some who had no idea what a budget is, or if they even had a right to contribute to budget formulation.
In this conversation, the constituents have been informed what a budget is, how the revenue of the budget is generated, and the expenditures and how they are actually expended, and how they are also accounted. But most importantly, how they could also get their priorities or their issues mainstream in the budget through their elected representative. So it is only through this participatory budgeting process that the parliamentarians can get to know the significance or the priorities of their constituents that they could use to defend or do their effective budget oversight on the budget. Let's say, for example, if they are to put oversight on the 2023 budget, which is about to come, now the parliamentarians that we have engaged, including Honorable Sanyang, will get to know what is it that his people's concerns are.
I should commend the Gambia Participate because, as I mentioned earlier, Mamlai, as the Honorable, this is first of its kind, whereby he invited the Banjul and especially Banjul Central for them to come and hear something like budgeting. This is a wonderful thing, and definitely we have to commend not only Mamlai but the participants also. They also did well, because this is something that we need to know. It's something that we need to active doing, not only waiting for the NAMs, but at our own level as Banjul Central, we need to go and look at whether it is BCC or the national budget.
It has also raised the awareness of the citizens as far as National Assembly participation is concerned. It has also reinforced the understanding of the citizens as far as the roles and the functions of the National Assembly members are concerned. Traditionally, many Gambians think the National Assembly can bring them a whole infrastructural portfolio development, but through this interaction, I'm able to realize that my electorates are able to understand. In fact, it is not the function and the role of a National Assembly member to bring me hospital, to bring me roads and other infrastructural portfolios, but to go to the National Assembly and represent you well.
One of the Gambia's biggest insecurities is its youth demography, who require huge investment to ensure they have jobs and the required education. Young people can be a significant force for development when they have the needed knowledge and opportunities to strive. The United Nations says by 2030, the target date for the Sustainable Development Goals that make up 2030 agenda, the number of youths projected to have grown by 7% to nearly 1.3 billion.
Young people are the future of this country, and the future starts now, as we always say. The future isn't tomorrow, or the future starts now. And we as young people have a key role to play towards nation development. And there is this vision we have as young people. There's a Gambia that we envision, and it's nothing like the Gambia that we are seeing at this present moment. So it's within our preview that I, for example, that have been fortunate to be voted in and have a chance to represent my people. I have a big task, that is to also make sure that I engage the young people, especially that are within my constituency, in making sure they understand issues. Because when they understand issues, they'll be able to, communicate more to us, to be able to represent them better. So, and we also have to understand that we young people are an integral part of this national cake, and we shouldn't ever be left behind. I always say this: even if we are left behind, let's always try to stand our rights, to amplify our voices in initiatives, in budget or in any socio-economic issue that is of relevance or importance to our cause.
Government na try suñ xalé goor yi kon luma la waxé rek benté nonu la ci dex yi ñu sani sen xel yi ci dex bi liggéey na dem fofu ci dex bi comme Jawara time rek nu melel nga Jawara time liggéey bu bari mu ci dex bi do dé gis xalé goor yi fi lu bari ana ku ñew sét sa mboka bi fi jeexna kon légui xalé goor yépp ñu ngi fess fi liggéey amut xalé goor yi ñu ngi saaca lu nekk ñu ngi koy def nga yooyu yëpp ñaaka moo ko def su fekkee ne liggéey am na billaay loolu yëpp du mun a am kon liggéey yëpp mënut a nekk fii capital bi fii ñu gëstu dex yi itam dafa gën a important ñu seet dex yi dafa gën a important man loola pour wax pour lifin bi government bi loolu laa bëgg a wax government ñu seet suñ dex yi pour xale góor yi training school yi itam am foofu ñu mun a def métier yi bari métier yi yëpp mënut a nekk fii Gambia fii Kombo fii dañu war a dem si dex bi tam ñu seet foofu
The coronavirus pandemic has exposed African countries' insufficient and vulnerable healthcare systems, which caused a lot of uncertainties. Should the 2023 budget give special attention to healthcare?
Budget bi bu ñëw ni budget season bi ñëw ni man luma gëna xalaat moy ci yokka bi fi mu wara gëna amé solo moy ci wërgu yaram bi because so déggé nga nekk docteur da nga wër so mëne bu gëna nekk teacher da nga wër so waré nekk borom métier liggéey bo wara mëna def da nga ñëk wër suñu lopitaan yi dafa soxla ndimbal suñu lopitaan yi man suma xalaat moy budget yu lañ wara gëna bari lo ci yeneen boor yëpp because of li tax lopitaan bi moom mooy place bi nga xam ne foofu la nit ñi di fajoo so léegi da nga gis nañ bàyyi nañ xel soo bàyyi xel si xibaar yi ñaari at ñetti at ñeenti at yi si gannaaw suñu jigéen yi suñu système suñu yaay suñ si matu rek dee bi ngay dégg ak jafe-jafe yi ñoo am si matu loolu doo ko doo mos a dégg si history Gambia si lan li ko waral mooy ñàkk a matuwaay xëy na suñ demee ñaare ba dugg si laab bi ñu leen wane mooy amuñ générateur courant moo fay fekk ñu ngi leen a opéré ñaare suñu système suñu yaay di si ñàkk seen bakkan ak seen doom yi ok léegi-léegi di nga gis si opération yoo am na yenn opération yoo xam ne suñ feebaree ñun askan bi suñu demee si lopitaan bi ñaare ñu ne la machine sànga amul fii foog nga dem Sénégal wala foog nga dem bitim réew su boobaa ñu ne la government amuñ xaalis foog nga dem uti ku la dimbale pour fayal la loolu man daal suma xalaat ak suma xam-xam si budget bi ñëw su fekkee ñoom député dinañ dégg suma ndigal ak government mooy nañ bari loolu daal wàllum faj gi.
Now, this is how the exchange started in the beautiful town of Bakau, with an impressive turnout. An interesting conversation started on how to safeguard a budget to ensure it is spent in the right places to avoid corruption with an anti-corruption bill. An anti-corruption bill means once passed into law will limit and or provide sanctions for corrupt practices in the Gambia.
dugal ci xaalis ban njëriñ nañu amal dafa tamit doo war a jagaaral nit ñi budget te seetluwuloo xaalis bi nga dugal last year dépasse bi nga dugal daaw ak ren ndax njëriñ na la you know Soli is very good Bakau Town Development Committee man vice chairman la ma youth yaa ngi fi jigéen ñaa ngi fi ñuy fay naa ko ñu ngi fi dafa war ñu xam seen xaalis fan la duga so lu am njëriñ la it is for the first time in the history of the Gambia si Bakau fii nii ngay ko am at a participatory level waaye warut a am rek on like a consultation you know affaire si yëpp mooy xaalis bi ñoo dépasse dañ ko war a monitor seet tamit the outcome of it waaw lii mooy njëriñi meeting bi tey musuta am gis ngeen xale yaa ngee wax jigéen ñaa ngee wax town committee baa ngee wax lu am solo la bu du dara sax sa xaalis fi mu duga na nga fa war a am kàddu.
So they need to look into it properly and have people who are experts. There are so many educated people in this country who should have been involved in this preparation of this budget. It should be that the Ministry of Finance should have a think tank, a national think tank to look into these things. And then before we go and explain to laymen about this expenditure and budget, because this is really, it's a good move, but it's not very meaningful to us because we'll come back to square one.
Gambia dëkki caaxaan la ñun lu ñoo waxtaan fi yëpp waxtaan boo xam ne la am na solo baax na pour ñu eyante waaye réew mi daal amul benn direction loolu mooy dëgg bi corruption man par exemple su fekkoon ne man dama nekk président in this country first thing li may wax mooy nga nekk minister of health you are caught of corruption you should not have mercy you should go to jail or you should be killed because lu xew mooy soo côté $10,000 from a project from the Ministry of Health dina am ku ñàkk garab bem dee because of that dina am ku ñàkk test bem dee because of that who killed that person you have killed that person then you should not also be left behind man loolu laa gom mooy ne corruption fekk Gambia mënut koo eliminate suñ ko mënta eliminate sax ñu wàññi ko lu ñoo wax ni yëpp dañoo wax rek waaye dara du xew that's the truth.
Women get to suffer a lot of economic challenges due to poor health care, lack of social protection systems, and low levels of access to finance to have proper livelihood. Women also play an important role in information dissemination. Their take on budget formulation is therefore key.
ñun jigéen ñi mun nañoo génn wone suñ boppa te ci dépassé réew bi mun nañ cee def lu bari waaye dañu may chance boo xam ne la war nañ fa àgga ba mun leen a wax ne leen lii ak lii buñ ko defee nii dina jur lii ak lii buñ ko defee nii ak nii dinañu wàññi lu bari waaw.
Kadu ni na ta je kole ya fe on fere ndimbe keri musolu ni dingol ita ka nyimbe fote kamata kontrole soto be nyimbe ko na manke bidi ko akumayata pour ka ñuñom meetingul ta keke ka musol ta keke ka fu ñoma kan so hakilola.
When it comes to budget formulations, they don't engage the citizens. But in an instance, say December is coming, I believe my advice to the Minister of Finance would be to engage the different constituencies of what their concerns are, what are going to be the priority areas for them to factor in the budget. This will be my first priority to engage the Minister of Finance to make sure that they engage constituency members and tell them what their priority areas of development will be in the budget.
Conversations are meaningful once it brings about the right actions in the most sustainable way. Now parliamentarians have listened and interacted. Now it is their time to defend what's right for their people.
If people trust you enough to put you in this position, we expect you to give back. We expect you to be the voice of the people. Everybody cannot be a representative in that house. Not everybody can be there. It's going to be chaotic. That is why we are mandated to vote for only one person to speak for us, act for us, and ensure whatever our needs and our aspirations are also heard in that forum. So it's really important to also tell them that citizens have trust in them. They should ensure, they should ensure they do not let these people down, because trust is it's a double-edged sword. You give me and I give you back. So if I give you, if I have so much trust in you, I expect you to deliver on your promises.